Guys, welcome back into another recruiting update video. This one a little bit different. We've got a major bombshell situation right now when it comes to recruiting with 247 Sports announcing the addition of On3 to their 247 Sports composite. So now the composite is going to be 4 different recruiting services all together. You've got 247 Sports, On3, Rivals, and ESPN, and they are adding the On3 service and to the composite for the class of 2023. That's basically what this story says. I don't see anything on 2024. I would really like them to add On3's rankings for 2024, considering On3 has Dylan Raiola as the number 1 overall player. But we are just going to go through. There's a lot of changes. You add an entire service to the composite. There's going to be a lot of changes. So we will go through this looking. The number 1 overall player, the consensus number 1 overall player is still Arch Manning. On3 had him at the number 1 overall player, so he's consensus. That's why he has the perfect 1,000 rating. He's consensus number 1. Malachi Nelson, virtually consensus across the board, the number 2 overall player. And then Cormali McLean, he's a beast. He's a superstar cornerback who's probably going to be a big NIL recruit. Right now, Florida leads for him. We've got the 5-star quarterback from California, the kid that got the $8 million NIL deal. He moves up 2 spots. I'm a little concerned he might be too much like DJ Uiagalelei, just that lengthy Hawaiian type build. But, we'll see. He's obviously a really unbelievable prospect. And you get a massive NIL deal to go to Tennessee. If people are wondering why is the number 4 overall player in the country a quarterback going to Tennessee, they paid him $8 million. That's why. David Hicks, phenomenal pass rusher, stud, big boy from Texas. Right now, Texas A&M, they're an NIL collective. Keon Keeley, really blue chip recruit, really interesting story with this kid. He committed to Notre Dame over a year ago, I think. He was ranked like 190th in the country. He was a 4-star. He's been moving up boards. He's up to the number 6 overall player in the country. I think he will stay with his Notre Dame commitment, but you've got Ohio State and Alabama trying to get official visits from him. We've got Francis Magolia, the number 7 overall player, offensive tackle. He's been a top player forever now. He's originally from California, transferred to IMG, and I would look out for a team like Miami. I've heard some interesting things about Miami. Caden Proctor, the number 8 overall player, another superstar offensive tackle. Iowa is going to try and keep him home. He is, it's rare to find a top 10 overall player in the state of Iowa. Caleb Downs, very happy to see Caleb Downs move up 2 spots. Absolute superstar. I think he's a top 5 player. My personal opinion, I think Caleb Downs is going to Georgia, but you've also got Ohio State and Alabama. This Harbor kid does not surprise me at all. He moved up 2 spots. He is a freak pass rusher. I believe he's listed as an athlete because he probably also plays tight end. That's normally the situation with kids like this. But he's like a crazy track star, and his recruitment seems wide open. He's from D.C. I could see a team like Alabama. They normally, with really high-end recruits like this, especially pass rushers, recruit it really well. Kind of interesting, Dante Moore moving down 6 spots. That's pretty significant for a top 5 player to move down to number 11. Really crazy NIL recruitment. I would look out for Texas A&M and Oregon. Of course, you've also got Michigan and Notre Dame. Zach Branch is the new number 1 overall receiver. This kid would have been a Buckeye had Lincoln Riley not gone to USC. Very interesting story. He was almost going to commit to Ohio State and Brian Hartline. Lincoln Riley goes to USC. Him and his brother, who was a top safety recruit in 2022, are committed there. So that's a great get for USC. James Smith, who is a defensive lineman from Alabama, moves up 2 spots. He is very likely, I would guess, going to Alabama. He's from frickin' Montgomery. Deuce Robinson, that's a little bit high for a tight end for me. The number 14 overall player. He's from Arizona. I would expect Lincoln Riley to land him with his offensive pedigree. We've got another player from Alabama, a cornerback, Tony Mitchell. I think this kid was the first ever kid to commit to any school in the class of 2023. He committed to Tennessee, quickly decommitted, and you would expect Alabama. He's from Alabama, maybe LSU and their DBU pedigree, maybe. Anthony Hill moves down 3 spots. I would expect this kid, honestly, to keep moving down. To me, he just doesn't profile as a typical modern-day hybrid linebacker. But right now, he's the number 16th overall player, the number 1 linebacker, and currently looks like going to Texas A&M or Crystal Ball there. Brandon Inniss loses his title as the number 1 receiver in the nation, moving down 7 spots. He's still a 5-star, though. Everybody pretty much expects him to commit to Ohio State in late June this month when he visits. Reuben Owens, this is a kid, very interesting, was committed to Texas, decommitted, and now it's kind of looking like a Texas A&M battle with their NIL coming in. A&M is really trending in this recruitment. Don't pay attention to this, where it says Texas, 73% chance, but he is the number 1 overall running back. Hurley, another player from Alabama, is committed to Alabama. Mateo Uilangile is actually DJ's brother, and it's kind of an Ohio State, USC, UCLA battle. The vibe that I get from him, he's staying on the West Coast, and it says, oh, they actually changed it. He was originally listed as an athlete, so they've changed it straight to an edge rusher. I think he was listed as an athlete because he also plays tight end. Peter Woods, another player from the state of Alabama, is the number 21 overall player, currently crystal ball to Alabama. I mean, he's from Alabama. You would think they'd be the favorite. Richard Young, superstar running back. Ohio State is really trying to get back into this recruitment. They led for him early on, but they've fallen off. They got to get him back on campus. I would agree that Alabama currently leads for him, but maybe Ohio State can get back in on him. A.J. Harris, the number 23 player, NIL-type player. Florida, maybe Miami. It's going to be NIL money for him. Not familiar with Trevino, this cornerback from Texas, but he moved up 1 spot, and he's currently crystal balled to Texas. I think Texas is going to do some huge things on NIL for 2023. Their collectives understand that the schedule is only going to get tougher. If you get Arch Manning, you can really, let's say Arch Manning commits to Texas in a month, you can really build up some amazing momentum for your class. You've got Samson Jr., who moved up 9 spots. That's interesting. The composite has him as the 25th overall player, but 247 Sports solo rankings have him at 87. So that is a big difference. He's 6'4", 181, and from Louisiana. It's the second-ranked player. Who was the number 1 player in Louisiana? I don't know. But either way, the second-ranked player in Louisiana is crystal ball to LSU. This Rasal, edge rusher from Alabama, moves up 12 spots. No crystal balls. Haven't heard a lot about this kid's recruitment. This is an interesting one. Samuel Mapemba, who I really think is an unbelievable prospect, moved down 11 spots. Currently crystal ball to Miami, but his recruitment is wide open. Jaylen Brown sees a nice little bump up 7 spots. He is clearly a 5-star right now. And from Miami, Florida, he is looking like Miami. They're going to go big with the NIL. I've said that before. They could land 4 or 5 stars. Britchermeyer is an interior offensive lineman, so probably the best offensive guard in this class from Virginia. Really great job by Penn State to get him. Phenomenal job. Great to see here. Carnell Tate regains his 5-star status. The number 30 overall player is expected to be committing this month between Ohio State and Tennessee. I would expect him to go to Ohio State. Bradley, the pass rusher from Missouri, is down 2 spots. He is, looking at some NIL money possibly from Tennessee. I was talking about that in my last recruiting video. Lemon is a kid that followed Lincoln Riley. He was originally committed to Oklahoma. He decommitted and followed Lincoln Riley to USC. He's kind of an athlete hybrid type guy, 6'0", so he's kind of like a scat back. The number 32 overall player. He is a fringe 5-star. And then this offensive tackle from Massachusetts is the final 5-star currently of the composite. Ohio State could really use this kid. His recruitment is wide open right now, but Ohio State needs a legitimate tackle. So we're just going to look through this list. Derek Williams from Louisiana moves up 10 spots. Cedric Baxter Jr. is going to be very interesting. He's an NIL recruit. He'll be looking for money. He moves up some. Jaden Wayne. This was a 5-star. Not anymore, at least currently. He's down 12 spots, down to number 40. Luke Montgomery, I'm very happy with that. He's up 1 spot. That's fine as long as he maintains that ranking. Damon Wilson is a beast. He's up 17 spots. I would expect 247 to move him up a little bit. This kid Bryant has been moving down pretty much with every update. He's down another 9 spots. He was originally like a top 15 player in the class, but he's been down. Justice Haynes is a star running back, probably going to Georgia, from the state of Georgia. Hakeem Williams got destroyed. He was actually a composite 5-star. He's expected. Right now, Texas A&M leads for him. Looking at NIL there, but he moved down 22 spots. Very happy. Noah Rogers. I think Noah Rogers is the number 1 receiver in this entire class. He is up 11 spots. He's the number 1 overall player in North Carolina. He's deciding between Ohio State and NC State. I also saw he was visiting Clemson. I'm not too happy about that, but it's still, I think Ohio State's going to land him. By the way, guys, just Notre Dame has just done such an amazing job with their class. They really have. You've got this Peyton Bowen kid who moves up 13 spots. Just some other kids. Wow, this quarterback was a 5-star prospect, and he's down 23 spots. I'm just trying to find the guys. Penn State has done such a good job with their offensive line for the class of 2023. Williams up 20 spots, the 57th overall recruit. Just looking at big moves. Ashbury down 15 spots. Realistically, this is very interesting. So, DeAndre Moore Jr. committed this past week to Louisville. And it's kind of curious, but Louisville is really getting in the NIL game. And unfortunately for Louisville, they got him, and immediately he's down 13 spots. I'm not saying that they didn't do it on purpose, because this is just an incorporation of the On3 rankings. But he is down 13 spots. Tackett Curtis down 16 spots. I'm not happy about that, but we saw it coming. I mean, he's ranked like 200th in On3's rankings. Riley Williams, the tight end from Oregon, the number 1 overall player in Oregon, up 17 spots. So there's just some other big recruitments. John Walker's a very interesting guy. I hope, maybe Ohio State can get him. I know they've been in on him. Brennan Vernon down 9 spots. I would expect him to fall at least a little bit more than that. Not familiar with this Dickey, who's up 34 spots. That's really good for Oregon. So he's now a top 100 player. Just looking through this list, honestly, I'm just going to look for like the Ohio State players at this point, or players that Elliott Washington. So Elliott Washington was receiving crystal balls to Michigan State. I don't know where that recruitment stands right now, but it was expected he was going to maybe flip. That would be huge for Mel Tucker. I don't know where it stands right now, but maybe. Christian Gray is a really good recruit. Man, I thought he was going to go to Clemson. Notre Dame's going to get him a big defensive tackle. Washington from the state of Arizona. This would be a big get for Ohio State. He's nearly a top 100 player in the updated list. Just looking. Will Norman, wow, down 26 spots. Ty Lockwood down 30 spots. Ouch. That's tough. Yeah, Ty Lockwood's ranked like 300th on On3's rankings. Another Oregon commit, Cozart. They just got this kid committed a week ago, I think. He's up 30 spots. And by the way, this pass rusher, I don't know how to say his name. This kid is a freaking beast. This kid should be a top 50 player in the nation. He's up 61 spots, but he's going to keep rising from Missouri. I wonder who's going to get him. Oh, it looks like Oklahoma. That's a huge get for Brett Venables if they're able to get him. He's a lot better than 132. He's a lot better. Lee, the cornerback, Ohio State is in on this kid. That's great to see. He's up 38 spots. That's a big move. That is a nice move for him. Just looking through this list. Alabama commit, Perry, up 52 spots. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Micah Tease, currently crystal ball to Oklahoma from Tulsa, so I would imagine he'd go there. He is up. Just looking through some players. Josh down 33. Ooh, Hartford is up 32. Hartford, something really weird happened to Malik Hartford's ranking. When he committed to Ohio State, he randomly was dropped like 50 spots. I don't know why. None of the services had updated, but he had fallen outside the top 200. It's good to see he's back inside the top 200. There's all of these players, if you guys look at this, there is some major movement right now. Johnson up 94 spots. Yes, feed me that. Yes. I love seeing that. Oh, Mark Fletcher got nuked. Mark Fletcher. This is the issue. There's Ohio State fans that think, by the way, Calvin Simpson Hunt, I think he's going to decommit from Texas Tech. He's getting a lot of attention from major programs right now. I think he's going to decommit. Texas Tech has put together a nice class. But Mark Fletcher, guys, Ohio State needs a superstar running back in this class. You have to understand. They need to get Richard Young. I understand they're not in it for Cedric Baxter due to the NIL. I understand that, but you have to get Richard Young. You got a weak running back class last year. You got to have it cannot just be Mark Fletcher. I'm telling you, Mark Fletcher is a good, bigger back, but you got to do something a little bit better than that. Daniel Harris is a guy I wanted to talk about, and he's up 110 spots. This kid's going to be a top 70 player by the time the final rankings are out. Stud. Daniel Harris is a stud. I don't know where he's going, but he's a stud. Pierce Clarkson, the quarterback, down 59. Ouch. Ooh, Darren Reed. I like this kid a lot. Up 122 spots. I'm hoping he goes to Ohio State. Yeah, I like him. Cedric Hawkins moves up 25 spots. Good for him. Cedric Hawkins moves up a little bit. I mean, there is a lot of movement. This dude moved up 128. I wonder if he's crystal balled anywhere. Ohio State, maybe? An edge rusher? Nah, he'll probably go to Texas. He's from Texas. It just depends. With Texas, they're getting all their NIL ducks in a row right now. But pretty much all of these players moved significantly. So this is a major... I want to see if they updated the 2024 class. That's what I want to see. I just want to see Kirkland. He used to be an Ohio State recruit. Not anymore. Oh, yeah. 91 for Austin. The guard. That's phenomenal. Honestly, I'm just looking for Ohio State commits really quickly. But yeah, all of these players are just... there's crazy movement right now in the overall rankings with a lot of these players. Down 89 spots. Up 193 spots. An offensive tackle from Arizona. Bryson Rogers. We expected this. So Bryson Rogers is now a 4-star recruit. He's probably the 4th receiver in the class if they land the other 3, Anis, Rogers, and Tate. Arvil Reese, really underrated. So good to see he's now a 4-star recruit. I think Ohio State should take him. There's like, should Ohio State take him? Take him. He's a freaking in-state linebacker from Glenville. He's from Glenville. You got to take kids like that sometimes. And now he's a 4-star, 100%. But I was wondering, so Ohio State still does have a 3-star commit. But yeah, guys, you can look at this. I'm just honestly looking. You can look for your team's targets and stuff like that. I'm honestly just looking for Ohio State's targets. I'm not even gonna lie. But Anthony Brown down 58 spots. They were talking about maybe they will take Anthony Brown, but I'm trying to see. He might have fallen a bit far then. Holy crap. Oh no. Where did he fall to? I'm looking for Ohio State's last commit. Michigan down 60. All of these kids just have crazy fluctuations. Will Smith down 15. Okay, he only fell 15. The one thing I do want to look at is the team rankings and see. So yeah, this update with On3 including their rankings is a major positive for Ohio State. Their average per commit was like 91 something. It's now 92.22. Notre Dame stayed pretty much the same, I believe. They might have added maybe 1 or 2 3-stars. I don't know if they had any 3-stars before this update. Texas Tech is a mainly 3-star base class, and they'll fall. They have 20 commits right now. They're going to fall once other teams start getting commits. Penn State is building another very strong class. I've got so much respect for them. Ohio State, Ohio State's in an unbelievable position right now, guys. Ohio State, they're about to get a lot of commits and a lot of top targets, and they're still at 92 average. 92 is not great, but once they get some of these high-ranked receivers, they're going to bump up to like a 94 average probably. Northwestern, they got 16 commits, right? But really, USC has a very impressive average right now of 94.5, mainly due to, Malachi Nelson. Oregon, 6 commits, 92 average. That's pretty respectable. LSU, 5 commits, all 4 stars for Brian Kelly. Michigan, 6 commits, not great. Alabama, 4 commits. Wow, 96 average, although it's just 4 commits. A&M is at 5 commits. They are, these teams, a lot of their NILs are just getting going. They're just getting started. Was Miami? Clemson's at 4 commits, 93. That's, just starting. Miami is another team I really expect to kick it into gear. So the other thing I wanted to look at, are they adding the 2024 class? I hope they're doing it. I'm hoping they're adding On3 for the 2024 class. Are they adding it? They don't even have the composite updated. So yeah, so in the composite, Dylan Raiola is the 8th overall player, but he would move up significantly if On3's rankings were added. Maybe they will be, and I'll do another video on that. And I'm not doing it 247. You have to stop showing this. I am not disabling my ad blocker. It's not happening. But guys, this is a major update. There, pretty much every player had, when you start talking about outside the top 50, every player moved up and down at least like 10 spots. So you can look, find your team's targets. I'll be honest. Listen, what I tell people, I'm a college football fan. I'm not just an Ohio State fan. I'm a fan of every team equally. That's what I tell people when it comes to college football. So, guys, but major updates for the 247 Sports Composite. A lot of guys shuffled around. A few 5-star updates here and there. The top 5 pretty much remain the same. But, guys, that is going to do it for this recruiting update video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.